Well, I should be there, and I'm not. What a way to start this show. Here, I'll be there now. Hi there. How are you? That's Mike. I haven't even brought him in on the stage, so we'll do that now. What a cluster to start the show. I just hear all those people clicking off. I don't even know where we're broadcasting, but I'll bring Mike on and then I'll start messing with stuff. I don't know. We're going to start the show today. Listed Mike and John. Here we go. Mike. I have to add you to the stage. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Spot. There we go. Wow, you look good.
I changed lighting a little bit.
Oh my.
That'll look as good as you.
Wow. What do you think of the sound?
Sound is good. I've got
my new little wiry thing here, and I feel like although this one's sticking. See, it's the wrong thing though. This one's sticking out. I know. You're going to convince me at some point. All right. Can we start off the show worse? Yes. Yes, we can. This was impressive though, I have to say.
Good.
Mike, how's the real estate market in Scottsdale?
It's decent. It's rolling along. Not exploding, but not dying. Just rolling along. It's pretty normal. So.
If you go get bored, go check on X or YouTube and see if we're on.
I can do that.
I am going to start the introduction in the show because, that's what we need. If I don't do it in a certain order, I get messed up. And so that's what happened.
Today, if we don't do it, if we don't try it, we don't know. So.
Right. So today, what we're going to talk about is a couple of things that I think we can spend a ton of time on, but we won't because everyone's time is valuable. Unless, like one of our good friends said that they listen to us in their cubicle and we're nice, like soft sounds. So,
soft sound?
Yeah.
Good.
I like that. Oh, we're going to talk about this. I stepped into a landmine online on accident. Didn't see it coming. The coming soon debate. I didn't know it was coming either. So we're going to talk about that first. We're going to talk about dead people in houses. And is that a good thing, bad thing, or obvious? We're going to talk about realtor safety because sometimes there's dead realtors in houses, which is not good either. And then after we get through that light topic, we're going to talk about the price appreciation of homes in subdivisions and what's up with that. Like we're going to do it without stats. So that ought to be fun. Zillow says that a new starter home in many cities costs $1 million or more. I think that's the most stupid thing I've ever seen. I'm going to take it apart with Mike's help.
Good.
And then we're going to talk about the city of St. Louis is rated as one of the least welcoming and vibrant downtowns in the world.
Surprised me. I've surprised me.
I mean, the world?
We'll get to it.
Okay. All right. I'm going to do some more settings here real quick because I'm worried. I might be doubling I am. Here we go. All right. I think that'll be better. Wish me luck. The only thing I've noticed is
good. Twitter's good.
Okay, good. I got to do better though here. Okay. Only thing I've noticed when I do the streams is when I'm switching and trying to hide, not tell people, the brightness of the screen see how I just turned it off and it went.
Yeah.
All right. I still have to turn you up a little bit.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah. I just got to get it where I'm happy. Because there were some wonderful witty remarks you made last week that I wasn't able to hear. All right.
I'll keep those to a minimum.
Yeah. Let's get into this wonderful debate. I don't even know. Okay. That's how I'm going to do it. All right. Well, that's not the right place. We're going to go over here to the screen share because that's where I like to be. And I'm going to go here. We're going to go here. And we're going to go there. All right. There we go. You should see something. Do you see something, Mike?
I do. It's pretty small at the bottom of the screen, but I see it.
Okay. I better add it to the stage. I don't know if I like that. Let's see if we have anything better. My stuff got changed again. All right. Let's
figure it out.
Yeah. Now let me start with prefacing. And right around the time of the Great Flu, a real estate company came from out of nowhere that started buying agents and teams like across the United States. And they had a new way to do business, and they were well funded by Wall Street. And they just, within 6 years now, become the largest brokerage in the United States. And I have thoughts about that. I don't really want to hit it too hard, but around that same time, we had this issue with coming soon listings. And just from a historical perspective, I'd never heard about a coming soon listing, maybe in 2019, 2018. And if I did know about it, it was a way for the agent to double-end a deal. In fact, I can remember thinking as soon as they put the option available to my MLS, I was like, well, people are going to abuse this because it's so obvious. You put the sign in the yard, okay? You wait until someone calls, like some little old lady or somebody that's not interested in being represented by a agent. They call, you sneak over there, show them the house, get them to write an offer because they're interested in the house. You know, housing demand in the United States since 2019 has been, exponential. It's hard to even find a house.
Right.
And so what you do is then you double end both sides of the deal. You just go and tell your seller, hey, I've got somebody that's here. We can write this up and it's going to be great. And that's what happened. And so then they said, well, that's not good. We need to put in some rules, some rules in place. So then they said, well, we need to put in, like, if you get a listing, you need to put it in the MLS at a certain amount of time. I think it was 2 business days back then. It may have been longer.
Right.
I said, okay, I'm not interested. I don't want to play the game. I don't. When I'm representing a seller, I'm representing the seller to try to sell their house. It seems greedy for me to try and double end a deal. Now, if someone came through and they were unrepresented and they said, I just want to write an offer, I would just write the offer. If someone wanted to have more service, then we would discuss a buyer's agency agreement. But I wouldn't, my alliance is to the seller.
Right.
On top of that, then there became all these new exciting things where we're going to fight with how the IDX is displayed. We're going to fight with what information is on there. We're not going to put commissions on the agent only screens because that's bad. Because I'm going to show, like, on a $300,000 house, I really care if it's 2.7 or 3 or 4 or 6 or 8 chickens. We go with chickens so that we don't run afoul of the rules. By the way, they tie our hands behind our back. We're not allowed to talk about things in public. And then we get these people that aren't selling houses, put this stuff on us.
Or make us flat rate.
Yeah.
Flat rate.
The anointed, the people who never sell houses, are dictating how we do business.
Exactly.
Very, very annoying.
State to state.
State to state. National lawsuits. Realtors have money. Let's sue them. It's one thing after another. And at a certain point, I gave up trying to care. Like, I could not advocate for a position that changed every 2 weeks. Okay.
Right.
Especially when I'm not running the show. I'm an independent broker of one agent in St. Louis, Missouri. We're not even in the top 50 cities in the United States right now. It's not a good situation. So I let it go. Okay. And I just, in my own mind, said, I'm going to do what I've always done, and that's try to help the seller sell their house.
That's the goal.
Yeah. Right? So I had 2 listings happen to come up the same day, and I'm in a spot. And let's just go over it, Mike. I'm just going to explain my thinking, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. I have a listing coming up in St. Louis, Missouri. School districts dictate value of homes. It's not like Arizona where you can send your kid everywhere. You have to be in the school district. Okay. And there's certain school districts that are better than others. There are certain times where families feel that it's okay to move. That window is between about April and July 15th. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you don't have your house listed between April and July 15th for the last 20 years, okay, you may get lucky, but I like to put the odds in my favor. Okay. As an agent, I want to sell this house when the most buyers are still in the market. And you run into this one problem. 4th of July, families are out of town. Okay. They're skiing. They're going to the lake. They're water skiing. It's 1,000 degrees here. It's not a dry heat. So anyway, they are just, they are getting ready. If they don't get their kid enrolled by August 15th, they're not going to have a good time in that school district. It's not going to work well. They're going to have to go through some hoops. And so I got the 4th of July coming up, and I can't do anything about it. Okay. I can't win.
Right.
So
we don't make the rules.
No. And so I said, I'd like to make these coming soon because in particular in Oakville, which is not in Canada, all of my followers from Oakville in Canada, no, this is Missouri. It's a suburb. I've got buyers there, and I've done deals recently, and I know that, it's multiple offers, and it's hard as a buyer's agent to keep driving around, trying to find a house, losing out on an offer, driving around more, putting more offers in this heat. It's horrible. And what I want, and so what ends up happening is the buyers and the sellers, they capitulate. Well, the buyers capitulate in this case. They say, I'm not finding the house that I want in this place. School's starting. I'm going to have to look elsewhere, maybe a lower viewed school district. Mm-hmm. And so I said, hey, I'm going to put these as coming soon. And I'm going to do it for two reasons. One, it's the houses are coming to market. They're just not ready. The insides aren't ready. People are moving stuff. They're moving out. They're moving furniture. They're painting. And if you go out the 4th of July weekend as a buyer, okay, say you go out of town, it's not it's not fair for you that you don't get to look at a house because it's gone that weekend and you decided to spend time with your family. Right. I just don't think it has to be any more difficult than that. And so I put it as coming soon. Mm-hmm. I don't want to double in the deal. I don't want anything other than to let agents and potential buyers know that, hey, there's two houses coming on the market that might be of interest to you. And I don't want you to have to settle for a house that you may not like. So that's how I did it. Good. And when I explained my position online, it became a larger argument, but I didn't understand it until just today. The larger argument. Yeah, it in real time, it's funny. It didn't occur to me until today that we've got other issues on top of the issue that I had. I am running a brokerage by myself. I am working for myself, and I am not interested in the debate about all of this other stuff right now because I can't get my head around it because I've been doing business for 15 years, and in the last 6 years, all we've done is change every single thing that we do. Not to the benefit not to the benefit of the seller, not to the benefit of the buyer. Just we're changing things to change things because people with money that have no idea what they're doing, they've never sold a house in their life, are sitting there dictating what we do.
And tying our hands a lot of the time.
Absolutely. And so just if you, as I explained this, I hate to frame it in such a way, but as I framed it to you, did I do the right thing for my seller?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Get it out there. I until we started talking about this, I wasn't really sure how other states operated. Arizona, I've always used coming soon. We're in a lot of realtor events. We have a good network of local agents. We all know each other, and it's kind of, hey, I've got this coming up. Do you have somebody? Maybe the person looking on that Z platform in Iowa doesn't see it, but it's getting that conversation. It's building the anticipation, and we do it. We list them as coming soon, and we show them if we can. If the seller wants to, we'll show them. We let the buyer know that it might not be ready, but
that's interesting. So I just want you. So we'll do a clarification in St. Louis, Missouri, in the MLS here. Maris is the big one. If you put a property coming soon, that's no show by agents.
I just learned that. Yeah, so learn something new every day.
You cannot show the house until. Now that's the rule. Now that rule was abused viciously, and I've already gotten calls, and I'm just not doing it. Right. I'll tell you how you find out when they're breaking the rules is you set the date. I mean, look, this is a game. Okay. So what they'll do is they'll set the date, say 2 weeks out. Okay. As expected date. You're required to put an expected date. So you put that. And then what happens is, for like 15 minutes, a week before the house is supposed to go active, it goes active and sold within 15 minutes. That's your tell.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
That's how you know.
Okay.
Comes on under contract.
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
Now, I have no idea how any legislation will ever prevent people from being slimy. I don't know of any law that prevents people from being slimy.
Especially when there's a whole industry of unlicensed real estate practitioners that you can't do anything about.
Well, licensed or unlicensed, Mike. Unfortunately, it's just, it comes back, and we're going to talk about this at some point in time down the road, not today, but if you're in a real estate agent and you have a family, okay, and you haven't sold a house in, I don't know, 6 months, your car payment's due, your house payment's due, kid wants new shoes, all you have to do is just kind of slide over here and do this little thing. It'll work. It'll work once, and you just need to get through.
It'll work until it doesn't.
Yeah, and then there's this other part. There's these people that I've always called sharks. They don't blink. They don't have a conscience. They don't have any interest except for making money. Okay? Their ethics are, I want to make the most money possible in the shortest amount of time. And so they're motivated.
Why does real estate attract that?
Well, because we sell it that way. You have to understand there's a huge recruiting process all around how rich everyone's going to be, how easy it is. Okay? How do you get people that know no better into your industry? It's, if you look at the crypto industry, it's the exact same model.
True.
Okay? I mean, it's not, this is a time-tested model. What you do as a real estate, and by the way, Mike, we're going to end up with a fight down the road, and I just want you to know that we'll talk about it ahead of time so we can hopefully head it off.
Okay.
But one of the things about the real estate industry that's slimy, very slimy, is you tell someone that graduated high school, say, hey, man, you're not doing anything. You're just sitting in a basement. Why don't you come be a real estate agent?
Yeah.
Fella's like, you know what? It seems easy. A lot of people make a lot of money. I'm going to do it. So they do it. They go to this brokerage, and this brokerage maybe does an interview to see how great they are. Because let's be honest, brokerages are going to be screening these people, right?
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
The numbers game.
Yeah. But that kid who's 18, his parents may be wanting to downsize. Maybe the auntie might want to sell their house. Okay.
Yep.
So in 6 months, the agent gets the aunt's house sold. Parents' house is sitting on the market still, and they're running out of money, but we're going to go ahead and we'll sell that one too. We sold 2 houses, and we realized real estate is not for us. This is a horrible business. I'd rather go back to sitting in the basement or just doing something else.
Right.
Okay. Now multiply that times millions of people a year.
Right.
And you understand the real estate brokerage model.
70% of agents are not licensed or not in the business 5 years. I
think it's like 3 and 80. And here's one little thing that I think no one mentions that I want to mention just as a benefit. For some reason, as a person who's not in real estate, these people get this idea and they say, I like houses.
Yeah.
I like houses. And so therefore, I'll just enter a mature industry that's been around since the 1900s. And we have the oldest trade group in the United States. Okay. Now, do you understand that generations of families have been doing this business? Your barrier of entry might be very small as far as licensure, but your group of clients that aren't already co-opted by someone else, very small.
Right.
Very small. And you're still going to run into this situation where your best friend in the world isn't going to use you as an agent because they don't want to ruin their friendship.
All the time. And okay. I'll refer somebody out, but I don't necessarily want to work with my best friend.
I want to work with my best friends because the level of care that I can give those people.
True.
And the way I can show them the ins and outs and where everyone gets screwed. I just, that's where I'm at. I really want it. And what you're doing when you say you don't want to use me is you literally don't want to have anything to do with me.
Right. Or believe in what you do.
Exactly. I'm supposed to go your kid's got a birthday. I'm supposed to give money to the kid's a birthday. Kid's going to college. I give the kid money for college.
Yep.
I can help you all the time, but the one time I need your help, you can't find me because you don't want to ruin our friendship. Well, what is this friendship? What are we doing here? What is this friendship? I don't understand.
At least have the conversation.
Yes. So I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to fight this particular battle today.
Coming soon.
I know what the coming soon is about. I know what the people are saying, and I understand it. Okay. For my single use purpose, where my highest goal is to sell the property for the seller, right, I'm going to go with what I'm doing. And I will sleep very comfortably at night knowing what I'm doing.
Yep. California just okayed coming soon this morning, I believe.
Interesting. Let's leave it at that. I'm glad you agree with me.
I agree. I'm all for it. I think it gets the conversation going and builds the anticipation, and we can show them and we can do deals. So I think that maybe is a little different, but I'm all for it. We need the inventory.
100%. So let's move on to the next topic. We're going to just clear that one out. Mother ID's son is grisly skeletal remains discovered in Connecticut house bought at a foreclosure auction. Awesome. It just turns out that these people bought on a foreclosure auction here in St. Louis is you buy it on the courtroom steps. Yeah. And you don't know about, if you're sophisticated, there's liens on the property,
right.
It ain't the bargain that everybody thinks it is.
Arizona too. You really have to know the house.
Do you have a right of redemption in Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, what I found interesting about this article was that there was a marshal that went to the home,
right,
and said he couldn't get to it. It was so overgrown, and he just thought that maybe why would you assume that there's dead people in a house? So,
well,
if no one's in there, and it's like if you look at the house, it looks like a murder house.
Yeah,
as every. And then the people that were there, they say that they never showed up in court to defend themselves because
Nobody
they were dead.
Looked into it.
Yeah, they were dead. That's why they didn't. That's why
when you sent this and I saw this, it reminded our house in Connecticut, 6 acres, way back in the woods, 1,500-foot driveway. Somebody could have been in our property a long time and nobody would have ever known.
Absolutely.
It would have been overgrown like that. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah. And so this to me is a larger point here is why do people assume that low priced properties are diamonds in the rough? Like you're the one person that doesn't see what everyone else sees.
Right.
In some ways,
there's a lot of information now. It's public.
Yeah. In some ways, I don't know. Well, I don't know how Phoenix works, but in St. Louis, we'll have someone that newly constructs a restaurant. And I don't know if you know anything about the restaurant business, but it's very, very capital intense to start with no money coming in. And so my rule has always been I do not go eat at a new restaurant for the first year. It must make it 1 year before I will go eat there. There's no exceptions, and I'm just that way. Okay?
I get it.
Because what ends up happening is they're bleeding cash. Okay? And most likely it took partners just to put this restaurant out there. Okay? Yeah. So now they're going to start infighting. So once you're in a deal that's going bad and you're fighting your other members of your group, the focus is not going to be on the food.
No.
Okay?
No.
But what we see so often is one restaurant will close, another restaurant will open.
Yep.
It will close. It'll become a Mexican restaurant. It'll stay open for longer. It will close. And so to me, it's sort of the same thing. When I posed a question, I don't know, a week or two ago, I said, buyer's agents, do you ever look at the property history when you're involved in making an offer on a house or even going to look at a house? Do you care?
Right.
I do.
I do.
I do. I mean, if a house is constantly every 2 years being sold, there's something wrong.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so
And we all know those houses. We all know them.
Absolutely. So, in this case, like, there should be no shock that you find dead bodies in a house that's at a foreclosure auction that no one's been in. No one by law is even allowed in the house.
Right.
No one owns it except for the dead sellers.
Yeah.
And if there's no wellness check, I mean, what are you going to do? So,
go ahead.
Yeah. Well, so I'm just like, if you're a sophisticated investor, you know this.
Yep.
You know this ahead of time, and you don't care because your motive is profit. Okay.
Right.
And so those people, they bring something to the market. They bring let's say a pool of liquidity.
Yep.
That an otherwise person would be offended by.
Right.
So that's why I've never really I don't kick flippers or wholesalers.
I do.
Well, I mean, I do, except for the fact that, like, I understand at the end of the day, someone's got to step in and buy a house where there's 3 dead people.
Right.
And they're probably not going to disclose it. They're going to say, it's on national news. Why do we need to? So,
yeah. So
just because a house is cheap doesn't mean, there's a reason.
There's a reason.
Right.
And I always say a vacant house goes bad very quickly.
Oh man, does it?
Very quickly.
It's so weird. Why? Yep. I don't know the science behind it.
Right.
But it's like if you're not in a house for 6 months, it like reforests or something.
The water in the toilets and the plumbing, and it's unbelievable how quickly.
Yes. Which should be motivation for all to try to sell their house in a short amount of time.
True.
True. So, all right. Well, that was that subject. Buyers beware.
Yeah. You're
going to find things in house. I had an investor house where they threw out the tenants and I was the first one in. And if you're not aware, like, people live like animals.
They do. They really do. I'm not to judge. I
don't
judge the way anybody lives, but they do.
Yeah. And so, and I'll just say this. I know this sounds bad. I'm going to go there 30 minutes in. If you are homeless and you are squatting, okay, don't get a pet, especially not a dog. Like, you're not able to take care of yourself, and it's okay. Like, you can have hope that at some point it's going to work out.
Yeah.
But the dog on top of it, there's going to be times where, like, you can't really train the dog because you're having trouble with yourself. The dog's got to go to the bathroom.
You went there.
I did. And I've dealt with it so often. It's like I just expect it at this point. Just don't get a dog.
Early in my career, I went into a lot of foreclosed houses, and I thought the same I would do, and we saw some pretty interesting things.
Yeah.
The cleanups crews don't do a great job
when
there's a dead body in the house.
Yeah. And you know what? I'll go there. There's servicing a listing. Okay. I feel like if somebody asked me to service a listing, if they asked me to list it, then I should probably take some responsibility for its presentation.
Right.
Even to the detriment of any sort of profit. Like, I have lost money on investor homes, as the agent.
Yep.
And so when I hear people say, like, agents are terrible and agents, why won't an agent show me 50 investor properties so I can write lowball offers all day long? It'll be coded as, I need a good agent. Like, I'm telling you something, if it's a good agent, they're not wasting their time driving your ass around.
No,
it's not going to happen.
So they can offer 70% of the value, 60% of the value.
So I want to write 6. Yeah, I want to write 6 offers on a property just to not get it because I have nothing else better to do.
I agree.
So
anyway, took me a long time to learn that.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's all I can do. All right, now we're going to move on to, I'm going to preface this. Now, we're going to try not to be depressing on this next one. with my new earbuds, I hear myself so well, and it sounds good to me. I don't know about you, but
It sounds good.
oh, thank you. I sound a little bit more NPR-ish than I've ever I sound in real life, but I've always liked that sound.
Sounds good.
So I don't know if my voice is like a depressed voice, but we're going to go over realtor safety, and this is something that I've been really, 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 how do I put it? It's important to me. Like if I check out, I want to make sure people understand the risk that real estate agents take every day. Yep. And I will throw another bomb to start the thing. And I'll say this: if a human being is working, okay, trying to provide for their family,
right, and
another human being kills them, severely maims them, injures them, death. There's no way. I don't care about disparate impacts. I don't care about anything other than death.
Yeah.
You cannot attack people who are trying to provide for their families under any circumstance. It just won't work. And so, I mean, it's not like learn a lesson. That's not even where we're at this point. It's you attack somebody who's working, you're done.
Right.
So
I was looking up when we were going to discuss this. I started looking up what other professions do you put yourself out there? We have to be out there. We have to answer our phone. We have to be in properties. What other profession are you interacting with? Well, I guess a lot, but public in a private space. I don't know.
Right. And so, like, one of the things that's going to come up that's going to be bad is, look, like, in hindsight, everything is obvious.
Right.
Okay? It's obvious that you don't want to show a house at 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday night in a bad part of town for somebody that you've never met before. It's obvious now, but it's not obvious to these people who are looking for people to call them so they can show them houses.
Get excited.
It's just not. And so I just want to go over some of these ones, and I'm just going to switch over to my screen so I can do it better. First one is a realtor didn't know attacker who assaulted her at the open house. And so one of the things we do is we hold open houses. We can argue why you hold an open house. I don't really want to do that right now. I just want to go with, I just want to go with what happened. It says a Bedford County realtor is recovering after being viciously attacked during an open house. She sustained multiple skull fractures. She was hosting an open house for Keller Williams, and when she was hit in the head by a blunt object, the fellow was charged with aggravated malicious wounding. And according to the warrant, Holdren beat Farrington with the intent to maim, disfigure, disable, or kill. It says that the 34-year-old walked through the open house and gave his personal information before leaving and returning with a wrench to attack the agent. And so on that one,
black belt.
Yeah, we fought him off, but man, you're hitting me in the head with a wrench.
Yeah.
That hurts. Oh.
Unexpectedly.
Yeah. So I actually, when that happened, I still had my old show, and I donated money. I felt bad.
Good for you. It's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, like, ugh. So think of all the open houses that we have, Yeah. People are going to say, well, they're going to do the same thing they do with everything else. They'll say, well, it's just a small number of people that are getting maimed at open houses, and therefore, therefore it's okay. And I'm just not.
Zero is okay.
Yeah, I'm not there with that. So, so that was one that was pleasant. Then we have Riverside County real estate agent assaulted in a vacant home. Okay, so the real estate agent was hospitalized after being assaulted at a vacant home.
Showing the property.
Right? Showing the property. It was supposed to be vacant. Open the door, and attacked.
Right
now, the suspect was fleeing in a Hyundai Elantra, which I believe if I get in my bicycle, I can beat. So clearly, we're not dealing with the brightest criminals.
Right.
No offense to anybody that's a fan of the show at episode 2, and you drive a Hyundai Elantra. I didn't mean it that way. I'm just saying, you know, you need to have like a faster car if you're going to commit a crime.
Yep.
I mean, it seems obvious.
Seems
So here,
obvious.
yeah. So here's what I do when I'm going to show any house. I unlock the door, I open it, and I say, you know, realtor, real estate agent. I'll shout it out.
Yep.
Only because I don't want someone coming at me and then leaving in their Hyundai Elantra.
You don't want to surprise anybody. I always do, but
Yeah.
I'll even say, showing the property, I'm armed sometimes.
Nice.
Whether I am or not, we won't discuss online, but
I don't think so.
depends on the property. But you have to announce yourself.
I think you do. So would
So
announce
they go hide in the closet somewhere.
right. Would announcing yourself in this situation saved your life? No. Or you were, I'll go with moral equivalence here for a minute. I see no difference between maiming someone to death or almost killing them and killing them.
Right.
It's like when I used to be a kid, I was almost hit by lightning. Okay. But I didn't get hit by lightning. It almost happened. It scared the crap out of me.
Oh, almost.
But it was almost.
That's a good story.
Death on this fellow or girl. I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's where I'm at on this one. Death.
That's terrible.
So this one was fascinating. I've often wondered how, office, all kinds of ways to die, I guess. And, some offices are competitive. We talked last week about the little ladies and their coffee. God forbid you ever not have coffee in the morning. We could see something like that. I don't want to make light of something, but I'm just saying, like, there's a rivalry in real estate. I have like 3 real estate friends in St. Louis.
Okay.
And that's all they're wonderful people. Okay. Right. But I'm not interested in being friends with every single real estate agent in St. Louis. It's like 8,000. Right. First of all. Okay. And they're competing against me. They will shiv me in the back. No problem. All right.
But you know who will and who won't.
Not until the first time.
Right.
Maybe it's too late at this point. But anyway, I have never been in an office where another agent wanted to kill me.
No.
No. Maybe I should be thankful for.
Not that you know of.
Not that I'm aware.
Right.
Anyway, there's other offices where apparently that's okay. So it turns out this lady, I think, I told you there's a lot of agents that are broken. We had a broken agent situation here. The wiring got crossed, raining outside maybe, and we just got in a bad spot. So it was a cold case murder in Iowa. It says Kristen Ramsey is charged with first-degree murder in the death of Ashley Oakland. I don't know if they put her. I think her age was like 23.
Young, right?
It was just too young to be killed with an open house.
Right.
And it says, like in a court filing, a witness who lived next door reported hearing 2 loud noises before seeing Ramsey outside the front door of the townhome. Witness also reportedly told authorities she saw Ramsey pacing outside her vehicle and using her phone upon looking out her second-story window. That's the person that saw it, the witness. Mm-hmm. The court filing indicates Ramsey called a colleague at Rotland Homes immediately following the alleged shooting, but did not call 911. And then it says the witness reported seeing Ramsey back up at a high rate of speed in an erratic manner and leave the area. No vehicle was offered in this one.
Right.
You murdered somebody, maybe, allegedly. I don't know. I don't want to cast aspersions. Innocent until proven guilty. You murdered someone, and then you called someone at the office. Like, remember last week I was like, I'm going to call my broker on you. It's possible that this woman's like, I'm going to call my broker on you. And I don't know. If I murder someone, I'm out the door. Like, I'm not calling anybody. In fact, I'm not taking my phone because you can track your phone. Okay?
I didn't understand this.
This is a sad situation.
Yeah.
Someone loses their life after showing a home, and it's like the person you'd least expect in the, like,
Right.
I mean,
It's,
I almost wonder, like, how you'll have like an open house and then you'll have someone like sit the open house for you. I won't. I would never.
right.
But
Right.
it's, younger agents, like they need to get their feet wet. So you let them do an open house at your place. Maybe they'll pick up a buyer. I hope that didn't hurt anybody's feelings that I said it out loud.
We will have that discussion.
Real estate uncensored. You know what? Sometimes, buyers do want an agent and they don't know it until they meet one. Anyway, the only thing I can think of is what if that happened? What if this lady had a listing, the older woman, and then the younger woman was there and, she picked up a buyer or something. And then this older woman just, was like, what are you doing at my open house? Stealing buyers.
Where was it again?
This was in Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah. So
Competitive market. I don't know.
have you been to Iowa? I mean, you've been everywhere.
I've been through it. Can't say I spent any time in Iowa, but
I've spent time in Iowa. It's like just north of us. At one point in time, yeah. I don't know.
I imagine cornfields and tornadoes.
Watch. I'll do that. It's better than Nebraska. And for any agents in Nebraska, I went through Kansas. I drove through Kansas to get to Colorado, and people were like, Kansas is awful. Okay. I drove through Kansas. It wasn't great, but I mean, on the way back, I decided to drive through Nebraska.
Yep.
That is a mistake that I will regret for the rest of my life.
It's cold.
It's just
or hot.
And there's corn everywhere, and like they don't have like a Bucci's or whatever you call that place, Buc-ee's. They don't have one of those.
Buc-ee's?
Yeah.
No.
There's like, you stop and you're just like, these people are. Anyway, that was 10 years ago. Maybe it's gotten better. It doesn't matter. I'm never going back.
Somebody likes it. It's for somebody.
Yes. So just on the list today, if we're going to do a running list, people who drive Hyundai Elantras that are not following the show and do not like real estate, they're on the list, and people from Nebraska in general. Maybe not. If you've moved out of Nebraska, it's fine. But, all right. So let's go on to another. Well, that was a jealous one I'm going to go with. Realtor killed in murderous suicide by a man unhappy with a new home.
Got to be more to the story.
Well, did you read this one?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So this dude, he was living like somewhere else. I'm just paraphrasing. He was living somewhere else. And he called and he said like, hey, I want to buy a house. And the guy's like, okay, here's a house. And so he bought it. Right.
Yeah.
And then he moved in. And one day later, he's like, I'm not happy with this house. I want to give it back. And they're like, no, take backsies. And he's like, well, I'm going to shoot you. And then I'm going to shoot myself. And then it's like, well,
got to be more to the story. Got to be a bet.
I mean, yes, but I don't know.
Yeah.
My thing is, like, I'm looking for a good Google review when I sell a house these days. Yeah. Not even sure why anymore. I have 13 and 15 years.
I'm not very good about asking about reviews. I need to get better. But
right. But like I hate to say, I don't think this agent's getting a good review.
No. No.
It's sad. Have I ever?
You know what's interesting to me in all of these?
Yes. What's interesting?
Things? When I meet with a client the first time, we're not even talking about real estate. We're getting to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
Quick Google search. Do we want to do business together?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of solves a lot of these problems, doesn't it?
Well, you said you sold a lot of out-of-town houses in the Great Flu. From people that were sight unseen.
Yeah.
One of them could have been this guy.
That's true. That is true. But we had a lot of phone conversations. Yeah. I think you can tell.
Real, you think you can tell if someone's a murderer?
I don't know. I don't know if I've met many.
Well,
So I like
maybe
to
not.
think people
Maybe
are
not
good.
the right one if you're still roaming the
Yeah,
planet.
I like to think people are good.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And I don't know, man. I don't want to. I don't want to die as a real estate agent. It's
No,
just not where I want to. Like,
not how I
like
want
right
to
now.
go.
You man, it's so hot out right now. If I go outside, it looks like I took a shower within 1 minute. Okay, like I have to carry a rag with me. Okay, that's
I
how
carry
bad
one.
it is. Yeah,
That's part of our hair
yeah. And
situation.
now I'm showing. Like I'm going to go on and show you. Say I'm going to show 5 houses on a Saturday afternoon. Okay, and the buyer's not interested in buying any of them. I don't even know why I'm there. Okay, and then the last house, I open the door. Some guy shoots me and then drives off in a Hyundai Elantra, and the police can't catch him. And it's just like, or her. And
Fair
I'm not sexist on murders, whoever,
Yeah.
you know. And it just to me doesn't seem like a life fulfilled. You know, if it was my funeral, it wouldn't be like a celebration of life at that point. It would be just depressing and sad.
No.
And nobody's going to say he went out doing what he loved, because I don't know anyone that wants to go out in the middle of the summer, show 5 houses, no offers, and then get murdered.
It's you always have your guard up. You're always looking
Sure.
around. By the Probably by the 5th house, maybe that fades a little bit. It's an endurance game.
In this market, in this heat,
Yeah,
man, it's just, I mean, there's just so many ways things can go wrong.
I have to laugh when other people talk about the heat. It makes me, can I say chuckle without sounding like an old man? It makes me
Well,
chuckle.
I will say this, when you're a youngster as a real estate agent, I wouldn't say I started right out of college, but like you think you're you're indestructible. Like
Yeah.
you're sizing up your buyers and sellers. You're like, I can take that old lady. And this one lady, I'm not worried about her at all. By the time she would even get a gun out, it'd just be over. So I'm not worried about her.
All right.
But at my older age, there's been some younger fellas. And I'm like, I'm not messing with that dude. I got nothing.
Yeah.
But this little old lady I got, she better not even try to murder me. I'll you know what? I'll still charge a commission. I will.
There you go.
I'll sue
Yep.
her. All right.
Yeah.
So that was bad. And then here we go. This was always good. This is one of those things that I don't think is a gray area for me, but I was curious if it was for you. This fellow here, some lady was like depressed. Things weren't going well. So he's like, hey, you want to rent my place? And she's like, sure. And then some dude moved in. He's like, hey, you got the rent? She's like, no, I don't. So he's like, okay, well, that's not good. And then like blasted away.
Again, just not knowing who you're.
Well, no, I mean,
I don't know.
Do you know real estate agents that like try to manage their own properties and they try to,
Yeah.
be evicting people and whatnot?
Yep. I
It's
almost
not
bought a book of business a few years ago, and our designated broker at the time said, don't do it. And I'm glad he said that.
Oh, yeah. You know why you don't buy a book of business from a real estate agent? Because like your chances of getting those clients are like 4%.
Well, this was a property management. It was like
okay.
properties to manage. And I thought, how easy. I drive by once a month.
Oh, yeah. Just pick up the check.
No.
It's always just pick up the check, Mike. Always.
Mailbox money.
Oh, man. Passive income.
Right. I just said that this morning on a tweet. There's no such thing as passive income in real estate.
Yeah. Here's one. This was the one that really kind of set things off. They made some changes after this. This woman, she was 50.
Yeah.
I
remember this, I think.
Yeah. Somebody calls and says, hey man, hey lady, I want to go see this property. She's like, sure. And then they meet her there and murder her.
Right.
Yeah. And so like, I think this one's going to come back to us, but we'll just if everyone can just, all 5 of you that I can see, By the way, I tried to get the chat working and I fouled it up. So next week, if you're trying to hawk crypto or something, good. Today's your day because I'm not gonna.
Today's your day.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, not gonna deal with that today.
Right.
If you're making fun of me and Mike, that's fine too.
And you know what? That's why we're here.
Yeah, 100%. So anyway, we'll keep that one in mind and we'll move to the next one, the last one. This was how a real estate agent how a real estate agent survived an attack by a man she was showing a home to. In 2000, this was a weird, this got weird because the first, so she shows up at this house. Okay. And then she says, "Where's your banker?" And then he's like,
I saw that.
Okay. Now who brings their banker? This is in California. Is this a common thing? There's some sort of banker that just goes with you when you buy a house?
I thought maybe it was not a human written article.
Oh.
Maybe they meant lender.
Well, is your lender going with you?
No. It was written odd, I thought.
Thank you.
ABC News.
It was written as if someone didn't really... You're right. It must be fake. In the sense that, as I read it, and, you know what? I don't put the links up anymore. I used to post all the links to every article and everything I did in the description after the show, but you know what? If you can't read it on the thing, Google it. It's there. I Googled it to start.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can find it. But anyway, this one here, yes. It wasn't written as if someone had any idea what a real estate agent did.
You may have heard me say they're journalists. They're there for clicks.
And it looks like here, based on the video that I'm watching, it looks like it's an advertisement for Barbara Corcoran. It
does. For some HGTV show, it looks like.
Yeah. So, you know what? We're going to go there. We're going to stay in the guilty verdict and the vignette. And I want to go over this with you. Did you see what I did there in the notes? I give Mike notes ahead of time because I'll wander off to different places. So I'm going to pose the question. Let's assume a tester from a government agency or somebody getting paid by some charity to root out whatever injustices in the world that real estate agents are doing, and wants you to meet them somewhere without you knowing them first, and you say, "No, you're not going to go. I'm not going to go. I don't know you. You just called me randomly. You want me to show you a house? I mean, I can prove to you people get murdered.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So no, I'm not going to show you.
10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I don't know what First of all, if you're going to argue the protected class thing, how do I know if you're a protected class when you call me?
Right.
Okay. That would be racist.
Yep.
So then, or sexist or whatever. Any ists.
Whatever.
I've noticed ists are never, and exorcists. I mean, it never seems good.
It's a good point.
Philanthropists. I'm a little bit confused on those people too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that they're not really, they might be doing something else. Anyway, would you risk losing your license or being fined heavily and ostracized by the realtor community for not, being successful when there was a tester that called you on the basis of your own personal safety?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
I haven't learned yet that I'm invincible, that I'm not invincible.
Oh, really? Nice.
So I'll beat anybody anywhere. I won't, but.
So.
I don't know.
I had a person call me this morning on one of my listings, unrepresented. Can I look at the property? Well, it's not. You can't look at the property. It's coming soon.
Right.
He's like, okay, well, then when it says, go active, will you show it to me? I said, well, how are we going to pay for this? Quite frankly, how are we going to pay? Why am I, it's going to be hot. Why am I going out? If you can't show me some way you're going to be able to buy this house, no, I can't show it to you.
Yeah.
As an unrepresented buyer, I'm just not interested.
Another topic, if they're for future,
if
they
100%.
don't want to show you, then they can't afford it.
That's where I'm at. And I mean, I don't know of any other way to qualify someone.
Yeah. I agree.
So
anyway, she called.
What's that?
Did you show her the property?
Well, it's coming soon. I can't show it here. I can't show it until it goes active.
Right.
But one of the things I do now, I'll just go over realtor safety. I will. I always tell my wife where I'm going.
Yep.
Mostly, like if something happens to me, maybe they can find the body.
Right.
You know. So I'm there. Also, our I don't know that it was legal, but I'm not a lawyer. Our MLS will at times send alerts where like somebody was in somebody was in a listing appointment and like the guy was creepy or the girl was creepy and like
We get those.
Avoid that dude.
Yeah. Or Facebook groups, or have you seen this couple?
Right.
What they call it?
We have a thing where we can look up phone numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that down there in your MLS? Our board gives it to us, I think, for free.
There is a platform that I use, but
Okay.
I don't know if it's through MLS.
Okay. So we have that. So that's how we handle. That's how we
Hey, a
handle
quick
that.
Google search. You can find a lot out about a person. Just a quick Google search. There's not
Yeah.
much privacy these days.
Yeah. 100%.
And if there is not anything out there, then maybe you raise a few flags.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair.
All right.
But safety, yeah. Do you have the lockbox where when the lockbox opens, it sends a notification?
Yeah, but it doesn't work very well.
No?
No. Like, for instance, I had a house last week. The person went in at 5 o'clock. It timed out the next morning at 5:30 a.m.
Yeah, we do get that in some areas.
It's like, well, I don't think they were still there. And if they are, I better call somebody. And it's a real estate agent, so they probably got murdered.
Right.
So yeah, you tie it all together, Mike.
It's, you and I are the 20-year-old, can I say, now without judging? Well, yeah. The 20-year-old attractive girl that's selling real estate. Do creeper guys go out and...
Yes. And
that bothers me.
That's the only thing where I don't have like envy for someone that's attractive.
Right. As girl dad, we talked about this earlier.
100%.
I'd kill him.
Oh.
But that's you walk into an open house sometimes and are you okay here by yourself?
And I've never been like Little Woman. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
Like Little Woman's too dumb to do this or no, there's no way.
Not at all.
I'm just like looking at the facts and saying like, if I'm having trouble with some dude coming at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. And you don't know, just my youngest daughter in California worked right off of Skid Row in LA. And every day I was like, she thought, I've got my mace, I've got this, I got this. Yeah. I said, that's not going to do you any good if somebody wants to harm you.
Right.
So that's what it is.
Anyway, so like to cap off the realtor safety thing, I have no tolerance nor care when someone says real estate agents don't do anything.
Right.
We're lazy. Anybody could do our job. Being in the business, seeing what happens, knowing that my life is in danger. It's just like, I'm done. I'm done with your silliness. And I'm not even going to engage. That's the level. I'm not going to.
Right.
I don't have to justify my existence by your opinion.
Nope.
I don't care.
Opinions are like...
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Everybody's got them.
So that's where I'm at on that. It's a dangerous job.
It is.
Be careful.
It is.
And it isn't worth it.
I can't tell you on the commercial end of it how many homeless people I've kicked out of warehouses.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Nicely, you can't. I'm going to come back in 10 minutes and I hope you're not here.
That's a good way to do it.
So.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So now, one of the things now that is concerning is people have access to all the information that's ever been made on their phones. Okay. But what we haven't done is like, we don't teach a class or anything of how to use all that information. So we have a lot of really, really smart people reading a lot of really, really silly things and believing them as fact.
Boy, we are right on the.
Yeah, I mean,
We
it's
are
like,
right on the same energy level.
Yeah. So it is not unreasonable for someone that is an executive. Okay, it's not unreasonable for them to read that a record 242 U.S. cities now have a starter home that costs more than $1 million from a reputable source like Zillow, and say, "Oh, that's true." Okay,
Right.
without a second thought. You know, they're busy.
Without a thought.
They're busy trying to get rid of American workers as fast as they can. You know, they're busy cost cutting everywhere they possibly can.
Selling advertising dollars.
Giving advertising dollars to pet causes that may produce a larger apple of their eye. They'll be loved. Everyone will love them for their stunning and brave work.
We could go on a long time on this one.
So I feel bad. I feel bad when people are genuinely interested in a topic and sold a bill of goods. So we will go with this report as evidence of such, and I want to just get into it like this. It says the key takeaways, you know, because executives are busy.
Right.
The number of cities where a typical starter home is worth $1 million or more has nearly tripled since before the pandemic. California still has the most cities with $1 million starter homes, but New York and New Jersey are seeing the fastest growth. And then it kind of buried there is nationwide, the typical starter home is worth $198,000. Okay. So my fault with this article, besides it being clickbait, is that if you read the article, okay, and Mike,
You can click right there and speak with a Zillow expert.
Yes.
Okay.
You're in Arizona. I'm in St. Louis, and I see one. And I mean, I can't read charts that well, but when I see that it says one
Right.
in Arizona, one in St. Louis, I think to myself, okay, well, then you're going to say that. You show me that city.
Yep.
Show me the city where the starter home costs at least $1 million. And they can't.
And they can't.
Because they won't. Because it absolutely blows a hole in their whole argument.
Right.
And what I don't get is, like, Zillow could have just said, you know, starter homes are more expensive. They're 3.4% more expensive than they were last year. But let's just go through the problem with St. Louis, Missouri, and then we'll get into Phoenix or the Scottsdale area, because I don't know there as well as I know here.
Right.
In St. Louis City, there's 99 different neighborhoods. Okay, acknowledged. In St. Louis County, there's 98 individual municipalities, and then there's half that's unincorporated St. Louis County, which has no municipality.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. So how in the here's the thing. Like Frontenac is like 14 houses in a gated community. I think the starting home price there would be $6 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a starter home unless your parents are like, I noticed that Ro Khanna, not to be political, but his kids might be able to afford. I'm sure that it's not true what I read, but if it is.
I read it.
Yeah. That guy.
Wow.
Yeah. That guy's kids can afford moving to Frontenac as a starter home. The rest of us can't. I mean, like, if you're going to go with a relative argument, maybe this article wasn't written for me. Right? Maybe it was only written for the 1%ers.
But it went everywhere.
It went everywhere. Oh my God, what are we doing?
Right.
Who did you help by writing this article? Who benefited from this? It just like if you're a young couple, okay, let's just assume you have college debt. Let's assume you want to start out and you just want a place of your own. You're not looking at it as an investment. You don't, you just want a place where you don't have to live next to somebody like above you or below you, and you'd like maybe a garage. All right.
The steps on the wood floor.
Now you read that the starter homes are $1 million. How are you going to feel? Deflated, defeated, and for what?
Right. I don't understand the doom and gloom headlines, why they think that those are attractive to people. They must be because they keep doing them. I
Well, I
don't
mean,
understand.
I'm guilty. I clicked on it.
Yes,
But at
yes,
the
we do.
same time, man, you are just not a good person by writing something like this.
No, you could have phrased it completely different with the same data.
Yes. Now, on a side note, for another show,
We got a
I
lot of
am
other shows.
I am not interested in the general arguments for affordable housing. By that I mean this: if you put up a new construction subdivision of houses that are 600 square feet and cost $100,000 new, you have created a situation in the future.
Yep, yep. That's not affordable to who and who wants it. Why are you putting that
Second,
up?
second of all, I've seen the houses, and it was very funny. It was very enlightening. There was a nice reporter who had the renderings, and so they showed the renderings, and then the houses got built. The renderings didn't look bad, but man, in the physical world, oh my god!
Right.
So that's one portion of the affordability. The next one is that I'm not interested in is as well. My parents had to, scrape together 4 nickels and whatnot to buy a house. And so you poors need to go and figure out a way to live to where you can afford a house. It's so out of touch with just everything. There's nothing wrong with sacrificing to buy something, okay?
Right.
But the idea that someone's literally buying a $9 Starbucks cup of coffee every day and that keeps them from buying a home is a little too simplistic.
A little
Okay?
bit. Right.
It's a little bit too simplistic. However, this ties into our next topic, which is I have noticed in my career that neighborhoods tend to increase value at a faster rate than other neighborhoods. And they tend
Absolutely.
to be more high-priced neighborhoods. And I'm sure you could argue on a percentage basis it's not that significant, but I think it's there. And I think that if you want to point to America as at fault or there are structural problems in America, I think you could argue that particular one and not be not patriotic.
Right.
There's something about it's just seemingly to me unfair that if someone goes and works and they have their family and they're living in this house that's a quote unquote starter home, that somehow because they're active in the economy, they should expect less of a return on their investment than someone who started with a more expensive home. It doesn't work for me.
But is it just math? Is it leverage? You put
Well,
10% down.
no, because what you end up with is this idea that like some people think better of themselves than others. And so
Yeah.
they don't believe that their house they always will believe their house is worth more.
Everybody does
Yeah.
at all levels.
Yeah. But this logic does bleed into other things. Like, for instance, someone will tell me from time to time, they'll go, I've got a master's degree, therefore I am worth more. Okay? I refuse to work at this position with a master's degree at this pay level. Okay?
Okay.
It's not that they're entitled, they just believe it.
Yeah.
Similarly, I do believe that people in well-to-do neighborhoods just generally believe that their houses are worth more because they are in it.
Really?
Yes. It's not a criticism. It's not a criticism. It's how is it like let's just play on an economic plane here and say the number of foreclosed homes in a $400,000 subdivision are zilch. The number of foreclosed homes in a $200,000 subdivision are 6. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Those 6 houses drag down the value of those other homes. How is that fair? How is that even close to fair? I just, or in St. Louis and parts of St. Louis, the $200,000 have all been bought by investors.
Right.
Okay. And now it's an investor neighborhood where people are only looking at the rents and never looking at price appreciation.
Right. Right.
So
and are they maintaining? There's no pride of ownership.
No pride of ownership, and you're like, what? And again, now you've got a quote unquote sophisticated investor in a neighborhood where the people are just trying to survive, and try to have that home equity build up.
Mm-hmm.
I just find it off-putting.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Now, statistically, is the percentage? I think it's more than 1% on a higher neighborhood. I think homes are going for more in nicer neighborhoods, and the rate of appreciation is faster than
even beyond not just a dollar amount.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a significant. And I can't. Yeah. I don't know how you'd measure for it accurately, but yeah. And you could argue the alternative. You could say, well, the people in the $400,000 home feel like they have equity in their home, and they can put in a new kitchen, and they're going to get their money out of it.
Yeah.
But even then, the cost of the new kitchen, you're still at like $10,000 or more for a kitchen these days if you have someone else do it.
At least.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I've just found that to be.
It is, and I think it might just be you're in your property. It's 10%. It's the leverage. I think it might just be math, but I don't know. If you're 10%,
the math isn't in your but it's not in your favor, and it shouldn't really. I don't really think it should be that way on a home. I'm not full communist or anything.
A roof,
but damn, somebody tries to do something with their life, and they're trying to make it. They hold on their house for 10 years, and they're in a negative equity situation, or they're in a stagnant. So now they can't afford a real estate agent, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now
they ask you to do it for 1%.
Well, but even then, it's like. I just don't. Yeah. I don't like that. I never thought there was this one president that's like, we have record high home ownership. And I was like, I don't know that that's a good thing. I don't know that that's a good thing.
Not everybody's meant to.
Not everyone's meant to own a home.
There's a lot of maintenance. You've got to upkeep.
Yes. So that's where I'm at on that. I don't think it's anything I can change in my lifetime, but I did want to point it out. I think that if you're a buyer and you can afford a more expensive house, buy a more expensive house. I don't write the rules. Okay. I'm not out there telling you to buy a house you can't afford. I'm saying if you can afford a house and you can get yourself in a different neighborhood, probably don't be cheap on that one.
I agree. I think within reason, I don't even want to say, but you should buy the most house you can afford, because that's going to snowball for your next. It seems that way.
Yes. And then when people say, well, there's a demographic time bomb, the economy is going to shift, and you're going to be, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I know that I need a place for my wife and family.
Yep. All ships rise and fall with the tide.
Yeah. I'm not, I was uncomfortable after COVID. Oh, I said the word. Now we're going to get demonetized. Damn it. Anyway, I was uncomfortable because house prices, all the lower rates did was make houses more expensive. Okay. Because people look at things as monthly payments, not the ultimate price.
Right.
And so what had ended up happening during COVID is everyone that kept being able to afford more bought more, because people are just that way. And then you just ruined everything. And for what?
I was wrong during that.
Exactly. I was like, there's no way you can have this appreciation and not have a correction. I did argue even at the time, like, what are we going to say the correction is? We're going to lose 25% in the prices of the values of the homes, 10%. Yeah. It's not going to be a crash.
Not a crash. Not. There's too much equity.
Yes.
I would have thought that. I didn't know everybody was going to be out making 5 off or 25 offers on each property. Yeah. I would have gone the other direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what tomorrow brings.
No. And at some point in time, like, I don't know if you've ever bought a stock before, but I have.
I used to.
Yeah, I bought it. I buy a stock, and like, what happens when I buy a stock? First of all, if you ever hear me saying like it's time to buy in the stock market, like that's the time to get out.
Right.
Okay, because that's the exact opposite. They're at the high.
We are not here to provide financial advice.
No, but boy, if I buy a stock, it normally goes down. the minute I buy it.
Yeah.
And then I hold on to it and I say, well, it's got to turn at some point in time. And so I keep holding it.
Yeah.
I think they call, here, we're going to do a motorbike reference. Have you ever heard I think it's called the whiskey throttle?
Yeah. Yeah.
What it is when you buy a stock. When you buy a stock, it's the same thing. Just a little bit different, in the sense that one's on a, so the whiskey throttle is when you get on a bike and I think you get nervous, right?
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for knowing that.
Yeah. And so then you instead of the brake, you just all in.
And it gets away from you.
It gets away from you because these bikes are powerful. And the same thing with these stocks and the same thing with the houses.
Yeah.
You tell yourself it's never going to go down. And that's when it goes down. You're never going to run into the tree. And that's when you run into the tree.
But I don't know if it's because we have so much access to information and everybody, the stock market's been going up. And I always say anybody under the age of 40 has never really had to manage risk on money. I don't know.
And at the end of the day, I come back to this thought and I'm just putting it out there because I can't develop it correctly. The thought is that assets are detached from reality.
Yes.
Not irrational exuberance in the sense that only one asset.
Right.
Okay. Like everything I see is detached from reality.
It's expensive.
And where that leads us, I don't know.
I don't know. Are we in the Jenga? Where?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
And then the other part is it that I'm an old man screaming at the wind?
Get off my lawn.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand a $10 drink. I don't think I'll ever understand it at a coffee shop. I just don't. I mean,
they talk about Las Vegas and the tourism and $25. I don't drink, but $25 for a beer.
Right. And then they say that Las Vegas is a harbinger of things to come. Nobody's out there gambling anymore. Like to absolutely forget that you have online betting now.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to
anything you want right on the
100%.
pocket.
Right.
I don't.
So, and you get back to this, humans need shelter, right?
Absolutely. I will go as far to say your primary resident is not necessarily an investment.
No. If you're on that path, which is totally fine. If you want to, house hack, right?
Yeah,
if you want to do that, understand that's not like a year-long process. Okay.
Right.
And if you miss in one of those ladder steps, you're not in a good spot. You're going to be sad at your efforts. So
focus on today. We never know what tomorrow is.
Right.
You need a roof. If you can afford it, buy it.
Well, if you need a roof, you wait for it to hail. And then you just get a new roof from the insurance company and then when you sell your house, you look at me, I bought a new roof for the place. It's like, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that, but okay. All right.
Well, roofing companies are hot now.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a roofing company.
Yes. All right. Last topic. We're going to it. This is a heavy one. I'm gonna frame it this way. I'm a St. Louis resident. I'm not a city resident, so you can kick me. My aunt lives in the city. I live less than a mile from the city. We have a strange city here in St. Louis. St. Louis is only 16 miles wide at its widest point, and then it's separate from the county.
Really?
Yes. We're the only city like ours is Baltimore.
Okay.
So if you go to Kansas City has its own county. It's in a county. If you go to Detroit, it's in its own county. If you go to Arizona, Phoenix is in its own county. Maricopa, right?
Maricopa County.
Yeah. So St. Louis City is not in St. Louis County.
Interesting.
It's interesting. St. Louis is a very interesting place. And from that, I want everyone to understand that I don't hate St. Louis City. Okay. I don't hate St. Louis County more. There's no level of one is better than the other.
Right.
But I saw this survey and I sent it over to Mike earlier this week. It says St. Louis has one of the least vibrant and welcoming downtowns in the world. All right. Now that is not good press.
Go ahead.
At the end of the day, it's not good press. If that CEO that's reading the Zillow article sees this article next, okay, he's like, man, I can put my business anywhere. I don't think I'm going to put it there because it's not got a vibrant downtown.
Right.
Okay. Now, you can argue many different directions, and I'll get the elephant out of the room right now. You can argue race in St. Louis. Okay. You can. That's fine. Okay. But there's way more going on than race in this particular situation. And the reason why I would say that is if you look at Los Angeles, the pictures I see, there's a lot of Los Angeles that is a dump. Absolutely don't want to be there.
There's nice parts too. But
absolutely. But there are, and if you want to talk about Detroit, when I was there, not a fun place to be downtown. Okay?
No.
So I refuse. I think race is way too simple of an argument for St. Louis. Okay? That's where I'm at. So if anybody comes at me and says, hey, you're just going on ideological race. No.
Yeah, they can say that all day long.
Yes. Prove a negative, whatever they say. I don't think you can do it. So moving on from that, I would argue that, it says like my downtown business district feels, authentic, beautiful, iconic, memorable, vibrant, walkable, welcoming. It says the concept of a vibrant downtown finish tied with Portland, Oregon for the worst in the United States and tied for second worst globally ahead of only San Jose, Costa Rica.
Globally.
Yes. I reject the notion. I think there's like 300 county or countries now.
Yeah.
There was one in the World Cup that I don't even know existed. I'm not sure that they do. I think that might have been like a,
somebody made it up.
Yeah. Like a ringer team.
Yeah.
Let's go create a country and then we'll get all these. Anyway, I refuse. Yeah.
I have fun. I haven't been to St. Louis in probably 15 years. I've had some good time. I have fond memories of being in St. Louis, the gateway to the West.
Yes.
The brick streets, the cobblestone streets.
Yes.
I had some good times there.
And then this Gensler research, whoever they are, it says that a positive downtown experience is often a key indicator of a city's global brand strength, economic vitality, and ability to retain residents. But I think they've kind of got it figured out, but they don't understand it. It's a branding problem.
It's a branding problem. Not a very business friendly environment either.
If you go to downtown Phoenix, is that like a place I want to hang out?
No. There's not much going on in downtown Phoenix.
No.
It's pretty quiet.
I spent some time in Denver, Colorado. Parts of Denver, a little shifty.
Yeah, I think
shifty.
Every city has it.
Yeah. And I would argue that the city planners and those who have the money often designate areas for shiftiness so that they can be bought at a lower price sometime in the future. And I forgot the word for it, gentrification.
Gentrification.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would argue that. So,
you probably could make a good case.
Thank you. So then when I read the bottom part of the article, that's when my ears went up. It says Missouri lawmakers approved a bill that could reshape downtown St. Louis primarily through major tax incentives aimed at converting vacant office space into buildings, into new homes and businesses. So it almost all of a sudden, it seems like Gensler was paid money to come up with this study that justifies investment into this community.
Exactly. That was my thought too.
Okay. And it worked. I've clicked on it. So
prove the point. They want to prove the point.
Then then you're using a firm to push like legislation. Yep. Maybe not, maybe a friend of a friend maybe you went to high school together. I'm not saying, I'm not I mean, it could be without malice. Okay.
Yeah,
It could be above board. It's just a little suspicious.
it is.
Okay. And then what I would say is this: why doesn't St. Louis make it? Why doesn't our city work? And I've thought about it a lot, and I have one example, and that is this: if I own a business, okay, and I'm overseeing billions of dollars in capital expenditures per year.
Large business.
Yes. Why am I-
Anheuser-Busch.
Well, the ghost of Anheuser-Busch, yes. Why am I investing in St. Louis? Why, of anywhere in the United States, why am I coming here? It's because I like Four Seasons. I can get Four Seasons elsewhere. You know, am I getting a tax break for coming here? It better be a pretty nice tax break because I'm not interested in, I mean, I don't even like the weather. Okay. Real
Is there
estate.
a riverfront area now?
There is, but it was an industrial city.
Okay.
So
Cleveland?
it's just, you're not swimming in the Mississippi. Let's put it that way. Or I guess
Really?
I guess you could, but no.
Maybe
So-
I had too much to drink when I was there. I
Yes.
thought it was a nice place.
Well, there you go. And there's been one time some broadcasters came over and they're like, hey, they showed some pictures of downtown and they were from the Mets. They were from New York. And they're like, this city is awful.
Really?
And they got in trouble in St. Louis for that. But I mean, the rest of the country's like, I don't even, it's fine.
Wow.
It's St. Louis. So what I wouldn't do if I was in a city is I wouldn't tax income
No.
additionally.
I saw that 1%, is it? For
Yeah, St. Louis has decided that the way to fix their problems is to tax and earnings, all earnings, people in the city. Okay.
all earnings within the city limits of St. Louis.
Yes.
1% extra.
1%. And you say, well, that's not a lot of money. That's only 1%. It's a third of the revenue for the city.
I saw that, right.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. And it says, well, here's the examples of the cities that offer this tax: District of Columbia, New York City, Detroit, Maryland, and Kansas City. On that list, do you see any of the top 50 growing cities in the United States?
No.
No.
I also see something else, but that's for a different day.
Yeah. So then the idea is like, well, now we can vote on it. But you have to understand that the earnings tax is higher than your property taxes as a percentage. Okay.
208. Right.
208.5 million. I mean, it's just insanity.
On the 1%.
On the
is
1%.
of earnings.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you've got payroll tax down at 44.7. You're not even, I mean, you are just, and it's like, well, we pay for all these things. And it's like, okay.
Do they have a tourism? Is there tourism in St. Louis?
I mean, there is, but it's like, what do you, like, if you're a family, why are you coming here?
The baseball stadium,
Right.
Stadium, and the art
Sure.
park. And
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been there. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's the issue to me is like, look, you're not like, one of the things the city's proud of is they're fighting data centers, the construction of data centers.
I think
I'm like-
everywhere. I thought it was just us, but
Yeah.
I think
I'm like, okay, so somebody wants to buy land and put in a data center. Okay. So we don't want that because we deserve something better. Like we deserve empty parkland. Like where's the tax incentive on that?
right.
Like where are you getting revenue on that park? And then you're going to let homeless people sleep in it, and I'm not going to the park. And
So
so,
you need to attract the small business to get the people.
right.
Right.
Well, or any business,
Any business.
you need to attract it while not shitting on the businesses you already have.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And realize like you're in 2026. Okay. This is where it went really fascinating for me. You're in 2026. And I was sitting here trying to figure this out. Mike, do we need a city? anymore?
I saw that comment.
Do we need a downtown anything anywhere? I honestly think we're fighting a battle that started in 1920, and no one has figured out that battle was lost decades ago.
The sense of community.
Sense of
Maybe
community
not.
is fine. I've got an HOA, I've got a gated community, and I don't like you people. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, like, okay. And so then, like, I put it forth this way. I'm a 49-year-old married man with 3 kids.
Right.
Okay. Why am I going downtown? Like,
Yeah.
for what purpose?
I have no reason to go to downtown.
None. Okay. And you say, well, you could go to the Cardinals game. All right. I'm not going to every Cardinals game.
No.
Okay. I'm not paying $50 to park. I don't think that's a good use of my money. Okay.
But
And like
you want to have the restaurants. You want to have,
yeah. And if you want to say, well, Chicago, everyone likes to go to Chicago. Chicago has, in my opinion, long jumped the shark of being a city.
Yeah.
For any reason other than people want to live there because, there's like 7 different parts of Chicago. It's not
There are.
like, it's not like no one's hanging out on the South Side.
No.
Okay.
No.
I mean, even Leroy, Jim Croce told us that. One thing you need to know from Jim Croce, it's you don't hang out in
The South Side.
no. It's the
When
baddest
we
part in
lived in
town.
Chicago, they were
If you go
trying
down
to-
there, you better just be aware of a man named Leroy Brown.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Right.
I'm not in the south part of Chicago.
No.
But my point is then people pointed to, well, we're converting buildings. You saw it today. We're converting buildings into residential, commercial buildings into residential.
Yeah.
Well, that's not good. That's a symptom of a larger problem. You've now taken a commercial base and turned it to a residential base.
Where are they going to work? Where are they going to spend their money?
Exactly.
Right?
It's like, look, we just converted a massive building, to residents. Okay, great.
The Wainwright? Is that what it was?
Oh no, that's a different issue. That's a different. We'll check that in a minute. But my point is simply, I think we need to get past this idea of any place. Look at where they're building where you are. Okay, they're building in the middle of nowhere.
Everywhere.
There's nothing. There's nothing where they're building, and they don't care because the land is cheap, and that's what they want.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I get it. Okay.
Yep. Arizona, you can find any franchise you ever heard of, you can find in the Phoenix metro area.
Yeah. But you're also getting industry. Huge industry.
The Silicon Valley. That's
100%. And so those people, why aren't they moving to St. Louis? Well, we're going to tax them.
Yeah.
It's like if we're moving to an economy where no one works, okay, then downtown makes perfect sense. But like there's often been talk in my life in New York and Los Angeles specifically, when you wanted to start a business there, you could literally find the people to start the business with.
Yep.
You had your connections.
Yep.
Now I've got
There's
Twitter.
Opportunity, there's money.
Yeah. Now I've got Twitter. I've got Facebook. I've got Instagram. Somebody on Twitter's got money.
Yep.
Most the wealthiest man in the world right now is on Twitter.
He is.
Okay. So, I mean, let's and then I'm going to go in another direction, and I'm going to go with this. It's the Wainwright building. Beautiful. Wainwright building was one of the first skyscrapers in the United States. It was steel constructed. The first 2 floors are clay brick, and then the rest of it's a steel infrastructure. Okay. And I'm just going through the pictures so maybe you guys can see what one of the original skyscrapers. I mean, St. Louis at one point in time was the place to be for business.
The gateway to the West.
Hasn't been that way since 1920, but we still want to act that way.
Look at the
still believe it.
There.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
Awesome.
Yes. But I would argue that I can't think of a major metropolitan area downtown where there's skyscrapers where you feel as a human like good.
Yeah.
Because like when I'm looking and I'm walking, all I'm seeing is like the first floor of a building. And I'm on narrow streets, like the scale, I'm 8 feet tall. I mean, at the most, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm sorry. I'm I'm 6 feet tall. Okay. And everything I'm looking at is 13 feet or higher.
Yeah.
Everywhere I look. And to me, it's possible that the architecture of the downtown metropolitan areas across the United States with the tall glass buildings
It's all the same.
doesn't create any sort of desire to want to be there.
Not a warm feeling.
Not a warm feeling. I mean, you can say like, oh, it's great to be in Chicago, and yeah, you can walk like the Magnificent Mile. But when you look at the Magnificent Mile, it's just a bunch of shops.
Yeah.
And the shops aren't going to be there if no one's buying.
Right.
And it's called the Magnificent Mile. Go off of the Magnificent Mile. And what are you getting? You know, it's people have this idea like you want to have this walkable community. So we're going to get rid of cars and we're all going to ride bikes.
Right.
Okay. It's 100 degrees outside today. Right. I don't want to ride my bike to work. I don't even want to go to work. You know, like, what are you doing? And then I can't drive now say I've got to go, let's say I have to go to a meeting downtown. And now I got to drive like 6 different ways to get there because you've made the bike paths. So I can't drive.
Call an Uber.
But I mean, it's not like, it doesn't make me say, oh, you know what? I'm in a great place. I want to live here. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day.
I understand.
And then you're going to tax me 1% on my earnings. What are you doing? Yeah. Like, so I would just say this.
Listening this morning about the Los Angeles area, nobody wants to really live an hour outside and commute into Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. Probably the same with St. Louis.
Well, I mean, when you lived in Connecticut, didn't you live in Connecticut?
Yeah.
And you commuted down
80 miles to the office.
Yeah, you commuted down to the office. Yeah. Well, could you even afford to live by the office?
No.
There you go. There you go.
Absolutely not. It's right on Central Park, but it was always nice to get home to my family and the green and the yard.
Yeah. So I think there's much more in play.
Yeah.
And I would just put it that way. There's much more in play with downtowns. It's I think it's a relic at this point.
You know what they are trying? They're building communities they call live, work, play. The young people want to live and work, play all in the same area.
I can't do that in the suburbs.
You can do that in the suburbs.
See what I'm saying? I can live, work, and play in the suburbs.
And I think,
and I'm not getting taxed at 1%. Plus, like, let's just assume that the population of the city of St. Louis is skewed heavily towards people of the age of 60 and over. Okay. Do they care if they're paying 1%? Probably not as much as the 20-year-old who needs every bit of help they can get just to afford anything.
Right.
And so how many of our city arguments throughout the United States are based on this idea that people need to move? It's just like mass transit. Why haven't they built a high-speed train from St. Louis to New York? Well, because nobody wants to go from St. Louis to New York on a high-speed train.
Right. There's other ways. Jump on a plane.
We need a robust bus system. I don't think we do. I don't want to get on the bus.
I've never taken it.
It's like, well, you may not, but other people may. That's fine. Let them buy a bus system. I don't care. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is I think that priorities are wrong in the sense that people are asking for a vibrant downtown where one is not necessary. And if it were necessary, it'd be vibrant.
Right.
Based just solely on that.
You bring the business, you attract the restaurants, the people will come. Yeah.
But look, like, let's just go just one industry, and I'll wrap this up. I know we're long today, but I started off poorly.
That's all right.
You had an architecture firm back in 1950 that had 600 drafters. Okay? Those drafters, 5 of them now, and even that's too many. Okay?
5.
What I'm saying is, like, your technological advances for drafting over that time. I mean, who needs 1 million square feet for their employees?
Right.
Like, who needs? The city of St. Louis this week has put forth a curfew that teens under the age of, I think it's 18, are not allowed on the streets after 9 p.m.
Why?
Yeah. Well, they have these teen takeovers we're doing,
Oh,
where you get on Instagram and you like, wait, we're going to go to this place, and then the place gets like over capacity, and then they're like, well, now they're not letting us in this place, we're going to riot, and then it's like,
really?
yeah, and then they say they're going to blame the parents, they're going to, it's like, okay, but this isn't just happening in St. Louis City. I don't want to.
I see the headlines around.
Yeah, my point is simply that this idea that I need to be downtown for anything, well, I just think it's an antiquated concept.
Yeah.
I mean, in the same sense, like,
safe. It's got to feel safe. There's got to be a reason.
There's got to be a reason, a compelling reason. We had the World's Fair in 1904. Okay, right. People still talk about it.
Right.
That's probably where we peaked, sadly.
Really?
Oh man, Gateway to the West. People fly right over us. We're not gateway to anything. They just fly right. Going to California. You're going. Yeah.
Not driving Route 66 anymore.
Well, I mean, it's just, I just don't see where, when you say we're proud of ourselves for taking our commercial building stock that we can't rent and we've turned it into residential, how you've managed to win on that. Like, you don't understand clearly the tax implications of that.
Right.
And once you make it all residential, where are these people going to go to work?
Yep.
It just
to the suburbs.
Exactly. So it just, I would love to. I mean, I think everyone would love to have a crown jewel of a city that they live near. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's not one. There's not one. I don't want to. I mean, New York is fine. Okay. I don't want to hang out there. I don't. But I mean, I don't need to live there.
I don't need to live there, but
I don't need to live in Chicago.
I like Chicago too.
Yeah, Atlanta. Have you been to Atlanta? Do I need to be downtown Atlanta?
Briefly, and I don't need to go back.
I don't need to go to Miami.
Miami.
I mean, there's no place where I need to go where it's just packed with people.
I don't need to go to Miami, but Miami's popular.
Sure.
What's his name? Ken Griffith just bought a whole
building. But why? Because they ran him out of another city. Okay, because we don't need billionaires.
Yeah.
It's like
that's a whole show.
It's just
we're getting a lot of trouble on that one.
At the end of the day, as much as people want density, it's the same thing as like when I don't remember if I told this story, but I was in a master's real estate level development program.
Yeah.
And the professor was going over building and returns on investment. Everyone in the class but me, and I'm not saying I'm smart or anything like that. I'm just saying everyone in the class but me brought projects that included shipping containers. And the professor just simply went over the numbers like with traditional stick-built construction. And he's like, this isn't going to work.
No.
But people believe that they're recycling these steel containers. They're doing good. And so now we're getting, it's just like, it's the same thing like with these buildings don't pencil out. There's like one skyscraper being built in the United States, I think. That should tell you.
But working on one.
Yeah, that should tell you what's going on with this idea.
Right. And everything is luxury. It doesn't pencil out unless you charge $1,000 a square foot for somebody to go in it.
Right. And you run those people off with your 1% earnings tax.
Right.
So
I don't know how to fix it, but
like it got to the point where somebody in 1940 figured out we need to charge an earnings tax because so many people have fled that we can no longer tax businesses to the point where they can bring us enough revenue or the property tax for our base to even function. And that was in 1940. Okay. Now think of the decline since then. And I'm a if you want to live downtown or if you want to live in one of the communities in St. Louis, happy to show you any of those places. I don't want anybody to be confused. Like I like parts of our city. I'm just saying I don't see the downtown area, the real downtown, as ever doing anything.
I'm going to have to come make a field trip.
Well, you're going to find based on this research that it's not very nice and it's one of the worst ones in the world.
That surprised me.
The
Phoenix
thing is
the same way. When I moved to Arizona in 2014, we go downtown Phoenix. There's nobody there. and developer always tries to come in and
Yes, on tax breaks.
on tax breaks.
Right.
It works for a little bit.
It does, about 10 years.
Yeah, the building we have for sale now is going through that whole gentrification with
Right.
ASU, but
Right. Oh, do you have a college downtown?
ASU has a campus downtown.
Oh, they have a campus. Okay.
Yeah,
But not their main one.
It's probably as big as their main one now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're trying to move everybody to the city and the downtown, like you were saying.
Does it ever occur to these people I don't want to live next to somebody?
No, I don't want somebody below me. Maybe it's us.
It is. But I think that there's a lot of us, because if there weren't, they'd have big bustling cities now, downtowns.
I don't want the 1,000 square foot build to rent.
No.
I don't need much more than that.
And you know what? Those lofts,
right?
Like the minimalist lofts. Look at me, I live in a sterile environment. Yay.
Right.
I don't.
Although in Chicago there were some pretty cool ones. The old
if you have a rooftop view or something like that.
Right.
I get it.
There's a time. I get it.
But I don't think Chicago is this place now where it's like where it was. I don't think that they're we're slinging business left and right. I think it's the people have just stayed there at this point. It's just like, if you're from St. Louis, like you said last week, you're like, you get people moving from Chicago, and it's like, buddy, there's nobody moving here from Chicago. They're moving to Chicago. They're not moving to St. Louis. We're net loss on population every year.
2 or 3 hours to Chicago, St. Louis?
A good 4.5. Yeah.
Is it that much?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all. I put it out there. If you don't like my ideas and you think that I'm wrong, it's fine. I've lived a long time. And I see the same things over and over and over again. And people tell me that it's not true. And I just see it. And I say, I see it with my own eyes. I just don't get it.
We're going to have to change the name of this to two old grumpy guys.
If they haven't figured it out by now, I don't know why it titles. Who clicks on you? That was the other thing. So they're like, you want a click worthy title. And I'm like, look, if somebody clicks on it, it's fine. It's fine. Whatever.
Can we say, if you're watching, what's a good title for this?
Yeah. And that's the other thing. Since even though I don't have the chat going, I'll work on it again. I'm sorry.
Well,
you guys could kind of contribute by you could give us show topics, email me. You can find my email online. I'm not going to put it out here. You can email Mike. Okay.
Yeah.
We'd love to do whatever. Oh, look, the labels aren't even on there today. Damn. Wonder what happened. Anyway, we're not, I'd love to talk about something you'd be interested in.
This is episode 2. So
episode 2.
What do you want to watch?
Yeah. If you want us to dance, do dance videos on Instagram, you know what? $1 million.
$1 million? Okay.
Mike, you got to do it for $1 million. I'm sorry. That's the number.
You know what? I'd probably do it for a lot less.
Oh, but that's not good negotiating. It's not good negotiating at all. All right. Well,
start at $1 million.
Yeah, I've had fun. Do you feel like you've had fun?
I think these are fun.
I do too. I do too. So we'll be back next week. The 4th of July holiday won't hurt us at all. So, So, it looks like we have 24 people. I'm sure those are bots, but of you 24, maybe my wife and your wife are watching. I don't want to be disrespectful, but if you have an idea, something's always interested you put it in an email, you send it to me. My phone number is even online too. So's Mike's. It shouldn't be hard to find us.
We're pretty easy to find.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe someday we'll do a drawing, and I've got a pen from Deerwood Realty. I can give you that.
We can do giveaways.
Right. Mike, do you do the golf thing? Do you know anything about golf?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Not as much as I used to, but okay. I like the golf.
But we could, get somebody they have those, you could clean the golf ball like a towel. You could put both of our logos on it.
I've got a stack of golf balls over here with
there
logos.
You go.
So
we, all we need, what do we really need? I think we need viewers.
Yep.
And other than that, I mean, I feel like we can do anything with viewers.
Yeah.
So
Let us know what you want to watch.
yeah. And look, like the one guy that we're friends with, I mean, we'll be happy to be your cozy sound in your cubicle.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that. Or bring other people on. Who do you want to bring on?
Oh yeah. By the way, I wanted to go over this. You know, why not? I have people that want to come on the show. I don't know why,
Fine.
but I have other realtors ready to come on. We got guys from California, Colorado. We have marketing experts. I mean, the response from the real estate community on X has been, I would say, overwhelming.
I love it.
If
My wife will sneak out the door and go to the grocery store without me because it takes her twice as long because I talk to everybody.
Nah, it's great.
I welcome it all.
Yeah. So with that, I'm going to head out. Thank everybody for watching. If you made it through this far, get a beverage, sit down, have a snack. Getting to be snack time here in St. Louis. And, I appreciate it. Thank you.
We appreciate